My name is Estella Garcia, and I'm a teaching artist in South Coast Repertory's Theater Conservatory. What does a teaching artist do? So as a teaching artist, I teach just like other teachers, but instead of teaching math or English, I'm teaching theater. I'm teaching young artists how to do theater, which involves experimenting, on your feet exercises, all on how to empower them to use their creative voice, how to develop their imagination, have discipline, and a bunch of other cool stuff. What are you currently teaching at SCR? So currently I am teaching year 2 students. I'm teaching 5th and 6th graders, and I'm also teaching teens. So right now we're in spring, which means that we take them through the process of putting a play on its feet. So I've chosen a play for each of these classes, and I'm taking them through the process of what do they do when they meet a director? How do they go through the blocking? How do they go through a script? How do they get into characters, getting off book, finding the staging? All of that is involved in spring. Now we're adapting it to Zoom, so we're having some fun experimenting how to add choreography, how to hide the participants so that we can have entrances and exits. So we are putting on a play through Zoom, but it's different, the same but different. What do you like most about being a teaching artist? I get to connect with students about something that we're both passionate about, and it's not only about me teaching them new skills, but as I'm teaching them, they're teaching me more about the craft. It's a good reminder of all of the basics, things that sometimes we take for granted or that we've forgotten, and we get to see it through them. And there's an immediacy, and I think teaching is an artistic form in itself. Within the area of theater and acting, do you have a special interest or area of expertise? So my area of expertise is physical theater. I do a lot of experimental ensemble-based theater. I work with masks, with puppets, with a lot of movement. I have this little creature here. This little guy is in process. I've started making it for a student before we had to stay home. So it's not completely done. This is a paper mache mask. There you are. When you're not teaching at SCR, what are your favorite pastimes? When I'm not teaching at SCR, I just love to be around people that I love. I love to be around my family, my friends. I love to play board games. I like to go out, dancing, watch a play, and then I just really love to be home. I love to cuddle with my cat, watch some TV, and drink some wine. If you weren't a theater pro, what would be your occupation and why? I think I would be a psychologist or maybe a lawyer. There was a time that I did want to go into law, but then I thought to myself, lawyers have to memorize so much. Joke's on me because I became an actress. But I guess that's why I like to do theater that doesn't involve talking. I like to do a lot of silent theater with movement. What is your favorite play and why do you love it? There's too many to refine it to one, but one that's really special is The Jungle. I caught this in England and I absolutely loved it. One of the things about this play is that it's based on a true story about a refugee camp, and the people there are waiting, they are trying to cross to the UK. And I really enjoyed being in the other side of the world and hearing a story that I felt resonated so much with what's happening and what happens here in the United States. And I felt profoundly connected in that way. And it was also really fun. It was immersive. So there were tables instead of a stage, and they were performing on the tables because the play was set in a cafe. So there was all these people walking in the middle of the play, and the play is happening amongst you, and all of a sudden you become someone in this camp as well. And there's lots of laughs, but there's also lots of really, really, really deep moments, lots of beautiful moments of music. And it was just so culturally diverse, and it was so beautiful to hear accents from just all around the world, and it really caused an impression. So if it ever comes by your town, check out the jungle. What are your recommendations for passing the time during the stay-at-home order? Do things that you love. Take it day by day. I think every day is different. One day you might really love catching up on some new TV. Maybe you want to watch a favorite movie that you haven't watched in a long time. The other thing I love is taking out old to-do lists and looking at things that I didn't get to that maybe I have time to get to. And the other thing I would recommend doing is finding something new to learn. So I don't garden. I've never gardened in my life, and somehow here I am trying to garden and growing seedlings for milkweed, squash, and tomatoes. I've repotted roses and I'm nurturing them back to life. And there's something about connecting with nature in that way that's been really nice for me. The other thing I do all of the time is cook. I cook. I bake as well. And I really find a lot of creativity in cooking, the least place I would expect it. I approach it in the way of like, what's in my pantry? What do I have? How can I create something delicious just with what I have? And it becomes a little bit of a challenge of what is going to be for lunch or dinner. So yeah, find things that are nurturing to you and find something new to learn, and look at those to-do lists and see what haven't you gotten to that you'd really like to get to. Thank you for watching Meet a Pro. I'm Estella Garcia, a teaching artist for South Coast Repertory's Theater Conservatory.